The Edinburgh Capitals were the visitors to iceSheffield on Saturday evening. Sheffield had a couple of new players in the lineup, Chris Frank, the defenceman, and Simon Ferguson. They'll get their formal introductions to the Steelers crowd, who all had their orange flags out on Saturday at the next home game against Dundee this coming Saturday. Well, first period was all about the Sheffield Steelers. They went close on several occasions. Olofsky was in fine form. First talking at point was that hit from Tyler Michel. The Capitals forward just crunching down at the last moment. Michel hits him hard into those soft boards at iceSheffield. You'll see there. And that was assessed 2+10 by Andy Carson. A check into the head minor. The young lad was fine, I'm pleased to say. Tyler Michel was far from happy as he departed to the dressing room. Didn't seem to affect the Sheffield Steelers badly in the first period. They were all over the Edinburgh Capitals like a rash, and Olofsky was making fine saves. Mind you, Olofsky took his own minor, an interference call as Jonathan Phillips attacked the puck in the corner. Olofsky went down like he'd been shot, but Andy Carson was having none of it. Interference called, and the Steelers went on the first of several power plays. Olofsky was in fine form. Sheffield were missing chance after chance. It should have been dead and buried and game over by the end of the first period. Limprite this time going close, but Sheffield couldn't find a way past Olofsky, and it remained 0-0 into the first period. Same again at the start of the second period. Sheffield started well, went close, and Olofsky was making chance after chance, but it just wasn't to be. Stevenson chips the puck over the glass, gets a delaying the game minor. On the power play go the Edinburgh Capitals, and you guessed it, the Caps went ahead. Scruffy goal, but Lean Webber taps home 5:19 into the middle period, and Edinburgh led by a goal to nil. Fortuitous as the puck rebounds off Yarrelin. There was a little bit of concern, but nothing too much. Then again, another power play came Edinburgh's way. They thought they'd gone 2-0 up. Ryan Webber again. But no, this one's ruled out. Why? Net was off its moorings, says Andy Carson, and on the second inspection you can see it was. John DeCaro picked up a 2-minute minor penalty for displacement of the goal. Steelers had their own power play in the second period. Dobrum was off for interference. Clock was ticking down for the end of the second period, and at last it was Matt Stevenson that found his way past Olofsky, and the Steelers tied the game with just 20 seconds remaining in the second period, 1-1. See the first shot saved, rebound, and Stevenson shoots and scores. Huge relief around iceSheffield. The flags were out, and everybody expected the Steelers just to go on in the third period and win the game. And they came, and they threw a lot of rubber at Olofsky. He made a lot of saves, but could you believe this? With less than 5 minutes to go, the Caps' third line, Neil Hay, is going to find Willie Nicholson. Remember that name. And Nicholson shoots one through traffic, shoots one through DeCaro. And with less than 5 minutes remaining, the Caps led by 2-1. A famous victory was within their sights. iceSheffield was stunned, but the Caps deserved their victory. They were rightfully pleased, and Edinburgh take 2 points. The Sheffield Steelers, a lot of hard thinking to do. Coach Ryan Finnerty had several press interviews. He was very despondent when we caught up with him in the dressing room after the game. Listen to this one. Your players back on the ice with a scout with the fans, I would imagine the last thing that perhaps they'll be wanting to do right now, but as a coach who's gone through a bundle of press interviews, what are your thoughts after that night?
Oh, it's just, you're embarrassed. You're embarrassed to be standing here, to be coaching that team right now, you know, and not for everyone. We got guys that for whatever reason look for reasons not to show up, look for every other reason why things aren't going their way, and instead of just digging down and getting through it. And you know, tonight I'm honestly embarrassed for some of my guys, and I certainly hope that when they look at themselves in the mirror tonight, that it hits them, that, you know, they not only let this group down, they let this team, they let everybody that supports this club, you know, from the top down, from the fans out, more importantly. And you know, it's just, you can't lose. It doesn't. You can sit here and say the goalie played well all day. It doesn't matter. We found a way to lose tonight. We didn't find a way to win, and that's the most disappointing thing. You know, I can see. You know, we outplay the team, yeah, but it doesn't matter if you don't get the result. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. You can sit here and make excuses. Bad teams make excuses all day long, and your best players have to be your best players. And right now, you know, some of our best players are our biggest babies, and that's an issue that I'm severely going to address. We've started addressing, and you know, your role guys will give you what you need. Your liaisers will give you the same as every night. But if your best top guys aren't your top guys, then you're not going to win. And that's as simple as that. And they got to compete. And if they don't compete, you know, you don't give yourself a chance to win.
And as coach, what can you do then to make those guys compete, or what can you do other than that?
Well, it's very simple there now. It doesn't matter who you are, how long you've been in this club, you know, whatever. If you're not willing to compete for this team, I mean, then we'll make changes. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's just I won't have that in this dressing room. You're letting everyone down, and you know, and the guys, you know, obviously it's not one or two. We got a few guys that need to step up, and that's what we said. We addressed it. They need to step up. You know, they're under the spotlight. You know, we're all under the spotlight here, and it shines brightest on me. But on the way down, like I said, I'm leaning on these guys and putting a lot of pressure on them to come out with a performance. And you know, I'm confident they will, but you know what I'm getting and what I'm seeing right now isn't good enough. Day-to-day basis, it isn't good enough. It isn't. It's not professional, and like I said, this is a workman-like hockey club, and if you don't want to work here, then like I said, there's a lot of guys that do. So it's not a threat, but it is to that point, and like, you know, I'm embarrassed. You know, you can only apologize to the fans that have to watch that. You know, the people that support this team. It's just. It's an embarrassment for tonight, and there's just nothing, no positives you can take out of it. There's nothing, no positives, and we dug ourselves a deep hole, and you know, you got to let this burn tonight and pick yourself up tomorrow. At least we got a game tomorrow to semi-redeem ourselves, and you know, we got to figure this out.